Hi, Virgo. Welcome to whew, Cancer season. Your Cancer season reading. Late June into mid-July. Let's start. We have a lot to get through, so we'll let the cards talk, but let's talk transits as well. On the 9th, Mars moved into fellow Earth sign Taurus and immediately began making some pretty tense aspects with Pluto. So for you, the way that plays out is any area of your life where things have become corrosive, whether it's the banter between you and a partner, or the once friendly relationship between you and a coworker or an authority figure. Perhaps it's the way you used to relate to your classmates. Whatever relationship it is that has soured a bit over time, and the past few months it's just corroded even more. That particular relationship, where you can feel the wear and tear of it on you when you're around that person, that relationship may either temporarily come to an end, or it may begin as a temporary separation and then it becomes a permanent one, because as soon as you get a little bit of room from this tension, your mind starts to work properly again. And when your mind is clear again and your mind is in control again, let's say, things are easy and they're pretty final. There's a finality to the King of Swords that I think you need right now. These relationships, they have been, and I use this word again purposefully, they have been corrosive, and you are not the type to slowly watch yourself be eroded. So something has to be done. You've known something had to be done for quite some time now, and yet it takes this Mars moving into Taurus and these immediate squares that it creates with Pluto for you to finally feel like you're pushed into a space that, like, it can't be helped anymore. And you are, snapping back to reality, very logical reality with this King of Swords. And once you're there, your mind works very quickly to get yourself back in the groove of like a healthy something, a healthy life, a healthy dynamic. You pick up and start talking to your friends again. Your grades will start going back up again. Inshallah, whatever it is that was being eroded starts to build itself back up almost immediately. So, and it's not to say that whomever you have to temporarily separate from, if it remains temporary, it's not to say that you don't understand them. It's not to say that you don't have any sort of empathy for what they're going through. You can have a lot of empathy for them. And I'd love for you to get into a space where it is out of empathy that you have decided to take space from them. So instead of them making you feel, which often they do, them making you feel like you taking space from them is punishing them. If you can get to a place where you can make them understand, because I think you already understand this, that taking space from them is actually a very charitable thing to do, because you are not nice when you don't want to be around. You can't help it. When you no longer want to be there, you are not nice to be around. And if you're already in a space where you're paranoid, you're distrusting everything this person says and does, it just hits you wrong, you don't really know, you just, paranoid and distrusting, it's not there. What's worse for a Virgo than them not being able to trust you or relax around you? You guys have a hard enough time relaxing at all, but to also feel like you can't relax in your most intimate relationships, regardless of if they're romantic or not. Just the idea that you would be kind of left to yourself. And most of you will want to retreat into this sort of It's easy, you know, this sort of fixed space. It's easy for you to become stubborn and fixed and just say, okay, well, I have to do everything on my own and I'm all by myself and, you know, this thing didn't work out and it's never going to work out for me and I just have to get used to the fact that I'm always going to be this thing that you do. Don't do it. Very tempting. I totally understand, but the only person you're hurting, the only person you're insulting, the only person that you're making feel bad is your inner self. So please don't do it. Nothing. Never mind. Okay. Let's keep going. Now, one of the other reasons that you should definitely take space is that you are, whether you want to admit it or not, holding on to quite a lot of resentments. There are a lot of things that have been said between you and this particular group of people, person, whomever, and you haven't had any time or space to digest everything that's happened between you and this person. You may even feel that, and this is not unkind to say, this is just an observation, you may even feel that this person keeps you from having peace of mind, so you won't be able to properly digest and process what they're about and what they're putting you through. You know, keep you on your toes and stress so you never sit back with any perspective and look at the larger picture of what you're going through, how you're changing, if this is good for you or not, what this says about you, all these implications, all these things that one thinks of when they have time and space. You're not getting that time and space, and you need it. And the reason you're not getting it is because it's very frightening to anyone who would like to keep you in that Five of Wands, you know, really combative place. It's to someone's benefit to keep you in that space because you're not going to be thinking clearly and they'll get a lot more out of you. So when you do get some time to yourself, what starts off, like I said, as a temporary separation may lead to being a permanent separation, because once you process all that resentment and all that pain and all those words and feelings that should never have, words that should have never have been said, feelings that should never have been prompted, it's hard to go back, you know. Also, I think it's a good time to leave because that Five of Wands also tells me that if you don't do the brave thing right now, things can get ugly where you are, or whatever situation it is that this is applying to. It can get worse than it is in a way that will involve legality and, you know, just mess and money. And it's time to be super brave and take a step without knowing what happens next, but at least you know it's better than what you're leaving behind, because anything would be better than what you're leaving behind is the thinking. Okay? Don't threaten anybody. And if anybody threatens you, you're gone. Goodbye. That's it. Nope. No. Okay, now, if you want to get through Cancer season unscathed, the one thing that you must do, and it will be very difficult to do in Cancer season, is avoid dramatic people. Dramatic people are seeking you out right now. They would like to make you accomplices to their machinations. They would like for you to use all your resources, spill all of yourself into them and into their problems and into their hyperbole and into their drama. And they will use you, and they will use you all summer if you let them. Also, this Nine of Cups is possible by you bringing up or taking part in conversations about really touchy subjects. People are out here to drain you. You have quite a reserve of energy, and people can sense it and they want it, and they can pull you into all kinds of messy conversations, especially when it comes to politics. Please just avoid it altogether. The other thing is interfering. If you can keep yourself in Cancer season from getting in other people's business, you can keep yourself from being completely drained of energy this summer. Interfering with couples, interfering between friends. The best thing that you could do, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's the truth, is stack your fucking money. Do not get involved in people's drama. Everybody is looking to star in their own K-drama this summer, and it is ick, and it is particularly pathetic, and it really has nothing to do with you. So as boring, like I said, as it sounds, yeah, going back to work, you know, because the care that you're looking for, the care that you're going to get from whichever person is going to be lucky enough to care about you, the way that you're going to care for them is you're going to spend money on them. We know this already. So focus there, because these people don't care about you. Now, starting today, we have very good luck in love. It is, if you just broke up with someone, amazing. You did the right thing. If you're on the verge of breaking up with someone, I highly suggest you do it. Take that step, because the next month and a half for you in terms of love is so good. Okay? Just go outside, respond to the texts, look cute, look handsome, you know, get that haircut, whatever it is. And then on the 29th, we have Saturn going retrograde across from you in Pisces. Yes. Oh, you can develop so much. You can learn so much about yourself, and you can really have some really like poignant, beautiful insights into love, into yourself. It can be such a rewarding time, such a time of learning that in a way that you love, learning about yourself in a way that has nothing to do with your ego. It's a time full of information, and it comes to you in ways that you really appreciate, and it's easy for you to digest. So it's through conversations with friends, through very poignant dreams, through something you happen to pick up and read, and you're like, wow, this is exactly, you know, it exactly speaks to what I've been thinking about. Your personal development is under scrutiny here, and also you get a keen sense as this retrograde of Saturn begins in Pisces that the person that you are with is so directly a reflection of how you value and think about yourself. And I think that's a disconnect for Virgos most of the time. I don't think you necessarily think that way. I think you're very self-contained, and you believe wholeheartedly that your value comes from yourself, and you believe in this, you know, work ethic based, merit based value, and you do the work and you are worthy of the thing, and so that's it. The idea that your value could be based, or somehow your partner and their level could be indicative of how you feel about yourself, it's not comfortable for you. And yet there it is. And Saturn will force you to explore that. And I wouldn't be surprised if those of you who have been dating below or married below your level really can't stand it anymore in Cancer season. And you have, you know, very analytical, some would say cold moments where you're weighing out, how do I look if one were to line up my partners? How do I fare? What level of self-esteem and value do I hold if you were to judge from the partners I've had? So a lot of this throughout late June and into early July. Now, what needs to be adjusted? How we grow up around this, how this affects money, and how moving into July, love changes. This all we will talk about in the extended. Before I leave you, I will say that in the preview to the extended, I would like to speak to you about career and money just a little bit, okay? So let's look at these cards and get into this preview. I love you. Hi, Virgo. Okay, welcome to the preview for your extended. In this preview, let's talk a little bit about career and money. So there are some changes in terms of money. In the next 30 days, some grown-up decisions are made. You may find yourself having to make some major money decisions. And you may want to get a lot of opinions, but I would suggest you don't. I don't think the people around you are equipped to advise you. I think on this you're going to have to trust your own intuition, because their way of looking at wealth is very different, or has to be very different from yours. This is about mindset, and the decisions you make until the end of Cancer season have to do with your mindset. You understand intellectually that sometimes there has to be an overhaul for things to progress and get better. If you are stuck in the short term, some of these major money decisions may feel catastrophic to you, but actually they're there to reset your brain from perhaps a system of thinking that you come from, that you were raised with as a child, or that you picked up later in life of lack. So what's explored in Cancer season for you in terms of money is the idea of playing out that grown-up mindset. Do you have enough money to make grown-up plans? Do you have enough money to pay grown-up bills? Do you have... Can you be in the right mental state to do that? And for a lot of you, you are more than ready. You are more than ready. The childish life, the soft life, the my parents make my appointments for me, you are so ready to leave that shit behind. And you know, it makes sense because you're also coming into a time with Saturn going retrograde where you don't trust anybody. And right now, I think that's the best thing for you, because you are going through a period of learning how to do this on your own. You know, it's very deep. And no, it's not a time where you can trust people, and it has nothing to do with how much you love them or not. It has nothing, it's not even a reflection on whether or not they're trustworthy. You just can't rely on anyone right now. Nobody has the right advice for you in terms of how to manage your finances, what risks to take or not take, because they're not dealing with things in this metaphysical way that you are. You understand intellectually that if you are able to expand your idea of what it means to have money, what it means to be successful, what it means, what earnings per month can mean. Like from the most basic to the most obtuse, there are so many things about what you are able personally to achieve in terms of money that are being overhauled through experience, through exposure to people, exposure to other people's opportunities and wins. Your mind is like being cracked open in terms of what is possible in general, but specifically for you as well. And that can, as much as it doesn't sound like it, it can be painful, because it's hard not to, one, kick yourself for not having done it sooner, but also a big part of aspiring to be somewhere, something, someone, is acknowledging where you are now, and that can be really difficult for you guys. So that is your preview of the extended. Now we have 4 more pages of notes that we have to talk about here, including your physical health, and we talk about abuse, and then we have some general advice, and in terms of mental health, we talk about Pluto in Aquarius. Okay, I love you.